So spawning in the blue side, but that's not a side, that's a color. This is Kimo. He's playing Isis.
I mean, I like the blue side.
Yeah, me too. On the other side, we've got Hagrit. He's playing as Ra in the red. Wait, is there a disconnect between the scoreboard now? Oh my god, what just happened? Update, please. Now we've got it. That's right. All right, let's see where this Pharaoh is going for Hagrid. It's gonna be interesting. So yeah, the Egyptians on this map, huh? And I would have liked to see that Oranos, but maybe Kimo is saving it for later in the series. Except we don't really have a rule for god picks, right? They can do anything they want.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit confused. But maybe he has a special plan here.
This is honestly just way more interesting for me now that I'm talking with Kimo a bit more. So.
Okay. Well,
it's just like the mind games. Like before, I was lacking information, so I had to go based off what I saw from games only. But after talking and playing, there's a little bit more information in my head, and this right now, I'm not sure if either player won the mind game, for example, because I think like Uranus against Ra, that's one of the worst matchups in the game for Ra. So this would have been a good time for Uranus.
It's a fairly open map as well, but you do have these two gold mines on Arctic Raiders, so.
Kimo decided to go for Isis, which would have been a pretty strong pick against the Odin, but there's the Ra. And the reason why I think this is a funny situation is because I don't think Ra is a good pick against Isis either. So
no,
we will see how this plays out, but the map is really open, and I think it depends on the player and the play style, but for a really aggressive Ra player who likes to raid a lot, an open map like this is actually a dream against Isis. But for like if you play against an Isis who is a little bit more unorthodox and really aggressive with raids themselves, it could also turn into a bad red map and Ra map at the same time. It depends on the style they play. Like there's the common 1TC fast heroic for Isis, for example, where they just for example, they drop Migdol, like 8 minutes, 7 minute fast heroic, Migdol TC, boom, some raiding, then a big push. For example, control 3 TC, take market. But you can also, which is more what Raisin does, you can go for monuments, scorpions, and AE into the eco really early, and then just raid non-stop to try to kill the economy really hard. And that kind of playstyle puts Ra way more on the defensive, because you just get the pressure on so early, and it's gonna be difficult to actually do something. But if he goes for the more common defensive booming style or the slower but bigger push, then Ra gets so much time to actually just put Isis on the back foot, and then this open map would be really nice. So it's actually really unclear, and it depends way more on how they play it, who the map actually favors.
Yeah,
which
also
is
if
really
you
interesting.
do get to the later phases, this map could be pretty interesting because you get an enormous trade here, right? Like the caravans can carry like up to 115 gold or more if it does get to that point.
Does trade get a chance at an open map like this?
Well, if you wall, there's a lot of forests, so I mean it will cost you, but there's also many gold mines, so I do think you can afford it.
I mean,
not for a while though. You're not gonna make it in heroic age, I think.
I would bet that this game does not go to late game. I personally, I don't think that Ra against Isis should go to late game very often.
Oh, these guys did
of the
on the regular. Like they had several Egyptian mirrors before, and every time they went to late game. And Kimo would win with like capital truck drops with him being Ra.
I think against Kimo, you're right that the odds of a late game are higher, because that's just how Kimo plays, that he's more on the defensive side, where he just sets up his economy and then he just wins. And it's more for the opponent to either kill him fast enough or outboom him, but both is going to be really, really, really difficult. And against other players who might be more on the aggressive side, the late game would be more unlikely. But yeah, against Kimo's style specifically, you're correct. Late game odds are actually decent. But just I think in terms of matchup, if the matchup is played the average way, then I don't think a late game should happen that often because both gods can kill each other extremely quickly if they both decide to actually play for aggression. But I suppose Kimo won't do that.
No, and actually, look at this. Hagrid is hunting outside, like way out.
Yeah,
It's a map that definitely allows for it, and he should get a pretty decent heroic timing with this. Uh, better than Kimo, to be honest.
where is Kimo's
Kimo is
hunt?
getting free TCs.
Yeah, this is interesting.
So you were predicting the opposite of this, right? But then
I mean,
he does this.
the
I'm confused myself because it's a very open map, right? So surely if Hagrid does a 1TC fast heroic, he should be able to raid the crap out of this.
yeah, but
There's the half orc.
even if he does, Kimo's defense is pretty damn good. So
It is,
unless he does a really good Scarab Rush and just kills him, it
but
would not mean too much. But
Well, I
let's see how
guess-
Hagrid plays this.
yeah, in this situation, I mean, you are training 3 villagers at a time versus just 1 from Hagrid. So that villager count, you guys keep an eye on that. It's gonna get out of control pretty fast, and he's already up 5.
Yeah. This is something I've been thinking about when I'm trying to play aggressive raid style against someone who's booming, but basically, if you are, for example, going 1TC and your opponent took a TC at, like, let's say 5 minutes, like completed at 6 minutes, meaning if you are starting to actually seriously rate him at 8 minutes, by that point he has 8 more villagers than you. And if you now rate him for 1 minute, he produces another 4 over you during that minute.
So you have to kill all
So
of that and then
you
some.
actually have to kill quite a lot. I mean,
You do?
yeah, you also kill the cost of the villager and he might not pay off, but you're actually racing the clock quite a bit. And it's not that simple to actually just kill someone. You have to do really well at raids.
Yeah, and you could just make the inferior classic units and kind of put a stop to that, at least to some level.
I don't know. They're way too slow against the heroic units.
Well, he's making a
If
barracks.
you have a good choke point, but you outrange them and outspeed them, so I am not super convinced of classic units against Egyptian heroic. I tried it a lot and I don't think it's that good.
He is
I
making
mean,
spears though, and correctly predicted the camels.
that is very nice. I mean, to add to it, I think it's worse for like the classic units are worse for the raw player against the ISX specifically, but not the other way around because of AE. Because if you want to push with siege towers, then spears are a good choice. You can hide them in TC, jump out, kill the siege towers. But if you do that against ISIS, then you're just gonna get AE'd.
Yeah.
And spears are not really tanky, they just die really fast.
Oh no, they're paper.
But ISIS doesn't need to fear that, so the spears are relatively safe in comparison.
Yeah,
Hence,
especially with the Sphinx out, obviously that's also gonna help. Actually, almost as fast as the camels.
yeah. But the action is about to start here. Some units are running around the map, and we will see.
Second TC for Hagrid, maybe? Or is he just doing hunt? I think he just seen the boar and he's happy with that. Kimo
I have
still
to
has
say-
more hunt and he's completely boxing himself in. So far he's not lost villagers, right? And he's already 59 villagers versus 32. What's happening?
Yeah, that's insane. And I'm surprised that Hagrid is still hunting. And I mean, at this point, Kimo is gonna benefit from rain more than Hagrid, I think. I mean, he's gonna have more farms and more villages, So if rain eventually does happen, it's basically Kimo's advantage.
It's a pretty good donation, I have to say.
Yeah.
And I don't think the camels are particularly good against the TC. I mean, Hagrit does have a good amount of units here, so he should be able to pressure it with the siege towers. Kimo is trying to do the spearman garrison trick you mentioned. It's pretty good. But as long as Hagrid pays
Half
attention and
HP.
chariots that, he only has 4 spears, so I don't think that's enough to take out the 2 of these. With mercs, maybe, but again, Kimo is not heroic, so he can't do the cavalry mercs, which are way tankier. And then we've got to pick up micro from the Hagrid's rock here. Oof.
Then again, it's only sushi stars and one is down. And I'm actually... Why is he not targeting the rock with TC?
That is a good question. Or the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh was here.
Yeah.
And Ancestors
Pharaoh
finally.
should be target number 1 in most fights.
Oh, 28 HP. He's got it with the last of the camels. And let's see if he can get out of there. It's only slings, so it should be fine to escape now.
At what cost? Like, how much did Kimo actually lose and how much did Hagrid actually lose? Because in relation to the economy, Kimo can probably just afford it.
Yeah, I guess the question is, right now, will Hagrid be able to make something happen? Because, okay, that's a good start, but then Kimo is already rebuilding this thing, and there's nothing here for Hagrid to stop him. Eclipse is still gonna last a bit, so he's not gonna locust this. TC does come up. And then, like you said, it's just a resource exchange. Not a good one. The 2 siege towers alone are more expensive than the town center. By not just a little bit.
I often think siege towers are deceptively expensive. Because in reality, they're like 2 chariots, but they outperform 2 chariots. So, I mean, it depends on army composition, but if you get like the average chariot siege tower composition, for example, then a siege tower is just gonna destroy chariots. And that's a nice raid.
Oh, what? I'm a little confused about the locust there. I guess he secured 1 kill with that or something, but...
I don't know. I don't think that was the best locust, but I understand the idea of wanting to use locust.
It just wasn't juicy, honestly. Like,
no.
breaking through this wall is no problem for the camels, right? You can look for a juicier spot, definitely.
Yeah. And there's finally a second DC, but the eco lead for for Kimo is so insane.
Yeah,
like
he's
79 to 46. He's like doubling his economy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even want to look at the economy upgrades because we all know Kimo gets them, so that's gonna be insane.
Hagrid does have a bunch here.
Yeah, that's technically optimal upgrades, but at half the villager amount.
Yeah,
and that's way more.
Yeah, and he even got Achilles, and there is a relic here. So
and he has Adze too, the wood one.
That's right. What was this actually? Oh, guys, book of knowledge. Who cares?
What?
We got the trios bow, however, 2 archer range. Now that you want.
Yeah, at this point, 5 pets. I am just waiting for Kimo to make just a few Nephis priests and then they just vanish. They die so fast. And there's a little trick. I think heavily underused micro tricks is garrison and siege towers. And garrison and siege towers you can do in multiple ways because imagine what counters siege towers? Villages. What can you garrison in siege towers? Villages. So imagine you load the siege tower with villages. You just micro your siege towers onto the enemy siege tower, and then you ungarrison your villages, nuke the siege tower, jump back in, and now you have a tank for your chariots, and he doesn't. It's so funny what you can actually do. The question is the idle time worth it? Who knows? But there's a lot of interesting stuff you can actually still try in this game.
Maybe
and
not the easiest thing to do when there's camels, but With the more normal games where there's more chariots, I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, as Isis, you can have Scorpions who are pretty good against Camels, so you have options, but those pets just shredded through that Scorpion.
Yeah, the Scorpions are not very good against mass pets. They just
No.
get like one shot by that many. 7 of them? Yeah, I think they get one shot.
Pets are insane at killing myth units, as long as they don't have the highest PS armor like Colossus. But everything else,
Yeah, not
pets
Colossus, not
nuke.
Fire Giants.
Yeah, Fire Giants too.
Not
They're
that
so
stuff.
tanky.
Well, Hagrid's getting the TC kill, so that's pretty good. But then Kimo's like, yeah, I'm gonna click up Toth.
Actually, Toth is a surprising pick. I mean, look at how many pets he has. Wouldn't Son of Osiris and Mummies be something he would like?
But Mummies would also get one shot. But Son of Osiris, yes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
then
think there's
again,
any point in making Mummies against this. You just focus fire and kill them each.
yes, but now we have so many pets and only siege towers. Like priest pet siege towers. What is this army? And actually, Kimo has way too little heroes. Like he needs way more.
Yeah, he's getting
Like,
funeral rites, but he's about to be surrounded by the camels. Hagrid's even bringing a rock in case he needs to escape.
Yeah, I don't think Hagrid needs to escape here. That army is just gonna get cleaned up.
Yep, that's rough for Kimo. He's got Todd, but what is he really gonna do with it? I mean, the only valuable thing he gains is Meteor, right? And the Ego upgrade.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the value from Toth here.
Could go elephants, but there's already camels out. And they're gonna do decently. They're rock camels. Oh, where are we going?
What is that?
Oh, that's good. That is good. Hit the other TC. Hagrid should be able to catch up now pretty quickly, as he's got his own 3rd Sand Center. He should get 45 Sand Center soon. Actually, right now. And once he also hits 80 villagers, this little advantage of Kimo from earlier is gonna be just gone. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, but it's still gonna be a bit of time until then.
Yes.
But Hagrid has been doing so much damage, so currently he is in a decent position. He just needs to keep the damage up, but he looks like he will.
Yeah, he's got mad skills, dude. I think he can do it.
Yeah.
Hagrid has been playing a lot of Age of Empires 4. So I'm not sure where he found the time to train, but maybe he did. Secret training. It's always the best.
I mean, there was a time where Hagrid complained about his mechanics being affected negatively by AoE4. But maybe that turned around.
Oh, I'm just saying he was busy. So I'm not sure how he got to train AOM.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think AoE4 helps with this game.
No.
Not at all. They're so different.
I do hear that there are a lot of similarities, though. Like...
Surface level, it feels similar, but it's really not.
I guess. And there's rain. That took a long time.
Oh, that Pharaoh, dude. Can it 2-shot the Pizzukas now?
Wow.
What the hell? That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage, for sure. But he was still ahead in score, even in this position. And economy is about to be even now, so timer is up. Kimo has to out-trade Hagrid now, or it's gonna be really bad.
Yeah. He's got stuff like the Champion Chariot, which is, I guess, a nice touch. And obviously there's the Merc Cav, but they're not half-or ones.
No.
He doesn't even have gold to make them, so this is getting real rough, and population count is okay for now. The Isis bomb is helping out a little bit with that, but then again, Hagrid's units are buffed by the major gods, so I'm not sure what that really does for him here. Oh, the villager's going to the wrong town. You really need
Knocking on the
those.
door, but no one's home.
Sure, the Migdol can't shoot back, but it's shooting other things anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's a lot of dead villagers.
It is. And I think they'll just all die. I mean, Hagrid's repairing with 4, that's good enough. He could pull more if he really wanted to. Oh, Kimo,
This
no.
does look like a very desperate move.
It does, and you know, the biggest problem was that Kimo actually didn't make a siege work. So if he had a siege works ready to go for the Mythic Age, he could have gotten out 1 catapult, right? Now holding with 1 catapult is gonna be enough. It will slowly kill Migdols and stuff.
But Hagrid's population, look at that. He dropped so hard.
Yeah, what actually happened in that fight? Is Kimo just out-upgrading him? He's got bronze business.
I mean,
whereas
I'm not
Hagrid-
seeing something wrong, right? Hagrid is down to 120.
Right, is he just not producing from enough buildings? I'm just
And
confused.
he's on 0 gold. Yeah, like, Hagrid has 2k food and no gold, no wood.
Yeah, he's looking for a spot for the market, but meanwhile, Kimo is starting siege work, so he might make like a secret catapult side build here. Wall off the forests and nuke the... Yeah. There, it's the Bermuda Triangle with off catapults. This is where
Yeah, and
elo points are lost.
something will vanish when it's built. There looks like the TC is going to go up again. No siege, nothing around. Kimo just needs to build it. And I mean, it's weird how the eco situation turned around, but it looks like Kimo is out trading at the moment. I mean,
It does look it.
he is really hurting the population. Hagrid has still not gone over 120.
No, I don't get it. What's going on with this gold? He's still got the gold mine in the main as well. And now Kimo is pushing him off these external gold mines, and I just don't see him making a mining camp still. And also, one huge thing about Ra is your chariots dodge arrow fire, right? So I'm a little
That's
bit
so
confused that he hasn't been making use of that. Those chariots have been just standing still this whole time. If you
Yeah.
just set your targeted guys to move away, or even patrol if, you know, if the player isn't paying as much attention, that can go a long way.
It's a funny thing that you're saying that, because when players have camos, something they like to do is like left-right shift click 1, so the auto target gets rolled and you always have to manually target. And that's a nice tornado.
Okay.
We could delete it. And I've been wondering for a while why people aren't doing that with Ra chariots, because they can just do the same thing and it would accomplish the same thing.
Exactly. Well, that tornado was freaking amazing. Even damaged the TC a little bit. So Hagrid should be able to get catapults out now. Just does he have the... Wait, did he... Oh, he has a
Look
siege
at
works at
Kimo's
home.
supply. Kimo's supply is going up so fast.
Yep. He's not gonna
He's
mess around
almost
for
back.
long.
He is almost back. But Hagrid, he finally makes it back to 160.
Yep, and Kimo's wall network is done as well. He's got a Migdol now, stone walls just finished, and he's got 2 more catapults in the siege works. He can go for that TC
He
right
might
now.
be waiting for the siege tech, because if he has a siege tech and 3 catapults, the moment he reveals that, it's gonna just spread through the TC. There's no saving it. I mean, honestly, he could start going right now, and I don't think Hagrid can stop it.
Yeah,
And I think
don't
they're moving.
He is. There it is. Wait, those
It's
catapults are so close to the
perfect.
edge of the wall.
Can he hit? I don't think he can.
Doesn't matter. There's 4 chariots now.
Yeah. That TC is a goner. And we might see a resign here, because I don't think that Hagrid is gonna reclaim that TC. Like, the way the position is built up right now, it's just dead trade for Hagrid and dead TC. And front TC does not look like Hagrid's gonna take it down. I mean, he's prepping some towers, but where are the catapults?
If he did cancel his units, he could get catapults out.
Oh yeah,
That's for sure.
I honestly think players should stop using autocue in late game. I mean, it's gonna be so much more demanding, but the priority of units is so important for late game. And catapults just cost too much pop, they get pushed away, but then if you leave the catapult autocue on, you might end up with like 10 and they just cost too much and die, and then you throw your economy away. So I think the level of micro you have to put into a late game needs to step up. There's so much more you should do. But it's gonna be so much more difficult.
Yeah, it's way harder. Obviously, especially as AOM's UI is just, you know, really old school.
Yeah, I have been thinking about the optimal setup for it, but it's gonna be difficult because there's no cycling and there are no select all stables, select all migdals,
No,
etc.
you'd have to make several control groups of just buildings, and I think you would have maybe 1 or 2 control groups left for your units.
It's gonna be hard.
So you have to choose what you sacrifice, and maybe you have to not control group your TCs and just use the H key or something.
Yeah, except for Egyptian, you want the TC for mercs and villagers. And honestly, I really like having a TC hotkey in late game still, because you want to train villagers to your front to build, right?
Well, you don't need to convince me. I also
Right.
I also do that, but
yeah.
I'm just saying if
I
you
mean,
didn't
you're
have
the
auto
late game
queue,
player in deathmatch, so
yeah, if you didn't have auto queue, I think it would be a different story though, because there's just so much real estate, right?
yeah.
Otherwise, you have to click the building icons. Like if we're paused anyway. So if I select the Migdal and the Siege Works, then you know I can't choose to make units from the Migdal instead. It's whatever selected first. Actually, it's the Migdal first.
Yeah,
if I
this
wanted-
is something also
have
I've
to
been
do
doing,
this.
that I just group all the buildings on the hotkey. Like I group control groups by location, because what I like the control group is mostly for the waypoint. Let's be real. And then if I want to train something, then I just control group, left click on the icon for the individual group, and
Exactly.
then I
Same.
make the units.
Same.
And Siege Camp should always have a different waypoint, so you need to manually select that one after setting a new waypoint and set it a bit behind, because catapults are not hoplites.
No.
They don't want to be in the front.
Dude, Kimo's an insane trade, by the way.
Yeah.
58. It's not a
He's making a
huge trip.
fortune.
Yeah, if he could switch that to the other side, that would be sick.
Yeah. With that many caravans, is he saving up for next game?
True.
I mean, I'm not sure what the optimal number is anymore,
Yes.
because with the mercenary nerfs, the gold you actually need per minute is a lot lower. And so the
That's true.
caravans you actually want is a lot lower than it used to be. So
But I
50
think
might already be overkill.
people over-eco all the time.
Yeah. That's a nice wall coming up, but is it gonna finish? I don't think so.
Be nice if it was a stone wall. It would be way harder to take that in the
Yeah,
process.
except there's a little secret for walls. You can spread the HP from walls, and if someone builds a wall and one side is already complete, but you want to get rid of it, and he builds a connecting wall to it, just target the wall immediately, and it will update to the lowest HP that's connected to it, and it will basically die in one shot.
Yeah, that's a bug, but yeah.
Yeah, and it exists, it's legal, and I mean, there's no way to make it illegal, because there's no way to avoid it. It's just a mechanic you have to deal with. And I mean, it would be, if it could be fixed for Wooly, it would be so nice. But as long as it exists, target one wall with all your siege, take one archer and spread it over the entire wall, and it will all get damaged evenly. And
that you've got. Yeah. I thought you were talking about the fact that as you build something, you keep shooting. And then it drops to 1 HP. Sorry, I got
Yeah,
confused.
that is also true. Well, that is still true on Wolverine.
That's what got fixed on EE.
Yeah,
not
that
the
is
damage
very nice.
spreading. Because the
But
damage spreading
yeah,
is like an intended mechanic.
and it makes me think that you should not connect your walls as much as possible. Like if you have the APM for it and the mouse precision, try to not connect walls if you don't need to, because you just risk the HP of your entire wall, especially if it was already broken down. Then and you already have a low HP part, then trying to rebuild the wall is kind of next to impossible if your opponent knows what he's doing.
Dude, Kimo's
And
holding this.
yeah,
I guess he knows what he's doing. He's getting a 4th TC. I want to say Hagrit screwed. 192 population ISIS. Yeah, you're not gonna fight that off. That is too much.
no way you will. That will hold.
Yeah, look at that. Actually, he deleted a ton of his villas or sacrificed them. Part of them at the Migdal. But I guess they just got replaced by caravans. No gold mining necessary. Okay.
I mean,
And it's empowered, of
replaced.
course.
The villagers are riding these caravans. That's where they went, right?
That's what happened. It's PG-13.
Yeah, there is no blood and gore here. But this late game looks like it's gonna not last too much longer. Kimo stabilized really well, as you said, and he's starting to push out, and the map for Hagrid is gonna disappear very, very soon.
Hagrid's got nice eco upgrades, but it won't save him against an army that big. Kimo is not messing around. He's actually gotten Book of Thoth. Nice. Wait, has he gotten the training speed upgrade, Valley of Kings? No, not yet. But that's gonna happen soon. He's getting like Burning Pitch and business now. So, GG. Game 1 is donezo. Wait, what's the kill dev? Damn, 360 kills for Hagrid, only 248 for Kimo. So he definitely had a good idea here, I think. Just didn't... Maybe if Hagrid capitalized on things by building walls everywhere, that could have been
Yeah,
nice.
walls are still underused. Just think about how Kimo likes to build triple layers.
Spawning in the blue color on Anatolia, playing as Isis. That's Kimo. And on the other side, playing as Zeus in the red, this is Hagrid. I think we don't have sounds again. Every time I restart, I swear. Fixing.
2 times in a row. Very interesting.
Wait, how do I fix it? Wait, they're going to the same side? Oh, I think I fixed it. Yep, sorry everyone. It's just a new bug. But now I know how to fix it, so won't happen again next time. Right, very, very standard build. Very, very standard map, I want to say.
Yep.
We'll find pretty much perfect fish. I just want to take a look at the relics.
I am really curious if Kimo is gonna change his playstyle for Isis after playing against Raisin. Like, the 3GC was not what Raisin would do, but Raisin also played some games against Kimo,
Yeah.
and also they discussed a bit of strategy. And I am curious if Kimo is gonna change some of his stuff because of that. Like Anatolia would be one of the maps where it would be more obvious. And I am very curious. I don't think he will though, because I think he disagrees with Raisin's strategy,
Okay.
but we will see. I mean, it's basically about fast heroic and classic fight differences, where so many just classic fight with boats, and Kimo is used to that, and Raisin would be on the fast heroic side most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what Hagrid does. I'm not
Yeah,
I don't really think that Hagrid is gonna go too hard on aggression here. I'd actually expect him to also play on the heroic side of things. But then if Kimo does get aggressive, that could be interesting. Kind of reverse the roles.
yeah, but let's look at the middle a bit. What does it look like? I don't really see any gold mines that look very safe at all. This is one gold mine for Hagrid that is kind of protected by a forest, but not really because chariots are chariots. And on the other hand, for Kimo, I guess the one right in the middle could be nicely secured by a TC and Migdal. And it's just right down the middle too, so it would be a nice position to control anyways.
Hmm.
What do you think about this map so far? Like in the middle, how it will play out?
Uh, it looks a little bit easier for Kimo to protect his 30C, honestly. I don't think Hagrid has an easy way to get on that because of all the forests.
Yeah, and the catapults too, like the forest and natural protection.
Catapults are gonna be brutal when if Kimo gets mythic and takes on this 30C of Hagrid's. And then what the hell is Hagrid's forest? It's a little bit elongated. It's very inconvenient for storehouse efficiency. So you'll have to keep remaking that. It's gonna be expensive if he stays there. I think he should switch.
In regards to weird forest shapes, I actually played a rare TG yesterday, and I had one of my forests spawn so thinly and straight out between me and my ally that it was our forest, literally. Like, I have never seen such a weird forest before, but it was basically ours. And it looked so stupid. And it was basically ungatherable, so there are some weird shapes in this game, and
Yep.
this one is definitely on the weirder side.
Yeah, the best is when both the forests and the cliffs go crazy on Alfheim, and then they wall off your
Oh
trade.
yeah.
That's always the best. Random maps for
I
the win.
mean,
Just get good and adapt to the map. Okay.
honestly, there was a time where Alfheim did stuff like cliffs that allowed wonders to be hidden behind,
Oh
or
no.
completely cut off TCs or gold mines. The good old days from ESO. But this Minotaur and Swings are really duking it out. Who's gonna win?
It should be the Minotaur, but not by much. Yeah.
Close
I was
match?
getting worried at the second tornado that I'm gonna be wrong. Actually.
Yeah. It's not so clear cut. At some point, people should honestly test like all the unit matchups and see who actually wins them, because it's quite nice to know that, especially when it's a bit ambiguous because of specials.
Yep. Well, the Minotaur can only do the launching attack on the infantry type units, including the infantry myth units. So like a Cyclops is infantry, and Einherjar is infantry, but the Sphinx isn't. It's a big kitty.
So basically, the Minotaur is not ripped enough.
Basically. It needs a bigger neck.
All right. Yeah, this water harassment is definitely going well for Kimo here. Denying some nice fish. Getting some decent damage in, might kill a boat. But he's also getting kited a bit. On the left side at least. But right side, killed the trireme, fishes nicely
That's
idle.
pretty good.
But Apollo first for Hagrid.
Oh, Apollo. I actually
Yeah.
expected Dionysus and
Look at
some
the back.
Scylla and that kind of business.
Hagrid's back base, look at it.
What?
I think Apollo...
Oh. We going all
What
in,
is
boys?
This is kind of giving me Night Swarm vibes from StarCraft.
Yes.
But this is something we don't see in Age of Mythology, really. Like,
Do it. Hagrid's an entertainer, everyone. He's getting ready for this. But is the chat ready? I mean, type 11 in the chat if you are.
this is gonna be so funny. I mean, imagine if he snipes the TC. I don't think he doesn't have time for it, right? No, it's 25% only. Like, how fast can he take down the TC? There's no way he can stop Heroic, right?
I don't think so.
No. That would have been so brutal.
You know what
And
would have been?
Kimo's making barracks.
You know what would be more brutal if Kimo had a second monument and Hagrid wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
But I think he somehow figured this out. He's actually upgrading Axeman.
I mean, he's up against Zeus, Hoplites, infantry are kind of a given.
He's also getting spears, so he doesn't know, but he suspects.
Yeah, it's always good to be prepared, and honestly, the upgrade is kind of free. It doesn't really cost.
Well, he's still right on top of the fishing ships. And that just means that Hagrid hasn't been able to produce as many hoplites as he had wanted to. He actually had some idle time. He had the force garrison there.
And honestly, now that he's up to Heroic, maybe all he wants to accomplish is to force AE defensively and just peace out through the underworld.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's no way AE can get over the entire map to do damage afterwards.
What he could do is go after that Migdol. And
yeah, I mean, I suppose
Underworld.
he could underworld base and pressure both, and AE can't defend both.
Yep.
This is gonna be nice. And the Scorpion is about to find what's up, I think. But it's too late, it's happening!
Okay, that's very interesting. Kimo is completely on the other side of the map. He'll have to hustle back.
I would have honestly underworlded closer to the TC. Like, this walking time, he could have done more damage faster.
These are only medium hoplites, by the way. So Hagrid could come back with heavies.
Yeah, but that AE is gone.
AE is gone, so he traded 1 god power for 2. And he's still gonna have restoration. Wouldn't mind seeing a few Hippospis for that infantry. Or just Toxotes, that's also fine. Yeah, very interesting. All the buildings for Hagrid are in the back. This is not something you see often. Kimo has fallen in his Migdol. Amazing.
Suppose? I mean, wars around Migdols could or should happen more often. Like, imagine you are playing against Norse flaming weapons and stuff, and they just try to all in your Migdol. It would be really nice in general, but here comes the push, and Kimo's army kinda small.
Yeah, this is a land map now, so I'm not sure that he has enough stuff in general. There's a bunch of Toxotes and the Odysseus helping from a distance, then restoration, making sure that these hoplites actually do stay alive. And I think Hagrid should squeeze in that heavy upgrade in a moment. Kimo not really microing the chariots, and ooh, the bolt goes down on the Scorpion, so that's immediately taken out of the equation. Kimo wants to run from the gold mine. He does have a second one. He's trying to make a mid goal there. Is it gonna be enough?
Yeah, he has to hope that this does not get scouted too early, because to hold this, he needs a good amount of chariots. And if he... Actually, he's killing units really nicely. Like, look at Hagrid's army. It's actually gotten really small.
Yeah, he dropped quite a few units there. I mean, Kimo is losing a few villagers, but at the back,
He
he
can
actually...
afford it.
Yeah, he has a second TC. He's starting his trade. He's got water secured, more or less.
Kimo is up. It's like, after all these losses, Kimo is still up in boats, villagers, and fishing ships by a
That's right.
significant margin. And Hagrid's army has dwindled down so much, and there's a point where chariots just farm hoplites and toxotes. So any loss for Hagrid's army is actually really big, because he can't afford the losses. He kind of has to end it, and if he doesn't, he just loses.
These are actually heavy axemen now, so things are starting to get a little bit worse.
If they're heavy axemen now, can the Minotaur still throw them?
Yes. But
Yeah, this
I like
army's
the way
gone.
you think.
Well, this army is a goner, and I think Hagrid's chances of winning this game are also a goner at this point. What do you think?
I don't see a comeback potential for Hagrid here. There's a Leviathan on his docks now. And Kimo is getting his third town center. So if Hagrid does come back in some shape or form, I'd be shocked, honestly.
But you have to admit, this looked way scarier, like what Hagrid was doing, and
For a
somehow
moment, yeah.
it went in a really underwhelming way. Kimo just held, and it didn't really look that hard. Where do you think it went wrong? Was Hagrid just too slow?
The food economy and losing water. I think if he... Okay, here's the thing. If you do a little bit stronger water, right? Make sure those fishing ships keep going. And make sure Kimo keeps spending money on those cabinets himself, right? Then you're able to actually afford a hoplite. Sure, it's gonna hit like half a minute later or whatever, but I think that trade-off is worth it.
Atharis.
Because he got AE'd anyway, right? He
Yeah.
had to run away from that. But he should also have heavy hoplites, he should have heavy toxotes, and that would be a very different game.
About that underworld idea, I think it was really nice, and he should have he could have placed the underworld a lot better, closer to front mech and closer to TC, so that he actually gets damage in, because he does not need to run and just wait it out. He can just make Kimo choose what he loses. Like, that would be much better.
Oh god. Kimo's greed knows no limits. He's getting a full TC against a 4-1 TC agree.
And he's going up Osiris during it.
Oh my god. Hey, that forest is actually open up. What?
That TC is a goner.
Yep. Rip TC. There's no one here to repair. And even if there were, let's see if Hagrid can kill a bunch of these caravans during this time, but I don't think he's trying to get cavalry now. And Kimo knows that it's Gold Starve time. Oh god, he's perfect on the timing, actually.
The villagers are raiding the chariots.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
They're trying to push the units away from the gold mine. And the raid comes in, but ineffective. Yeah, that's game right here.
Yeah.
It's so funny when the army just sits on the gold mine and the villagers are going to it. That's 2-0.
Yeah.
One more chance for Hagrid to make something happen. Or it's time to go down to play against... Is it Soup?
I believe it's against Soup, that's right. So that's still a hard game. And Hagrid and Soup, they do play a lot, don't they, in these tournaments?
Yeah, that's why I said again.
It's probably one of the most common matchups we have. spawning in the blue color, we have got Kimo. He is playing Oranos just as Kiyomaku predicted. And on the other side, we've got Hagrit playing as Hades. It's actually
There it
a
is.
pretty good thing for this map, right?
Sure, I wouldn't say it's a bad map for Hades, but it's also not a bad map for Uranus, and this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Oh, actually, Guilty gave us a tip, $13.5. Thank you very much, Guilty. Very much appreciated. Do you want that to go to staff or tournaments? Do let us know, please.
I'm actually not sure why Hagrid casted Sentinels immediately.
All right, you're saying he could boom and get on the forward TC
Yeah,
instead.
just think about how safe his starting gold is.
And the CC looks pretty safe, I guess. Let's reveal this map
His
actually.
wood is quite raidable, so
Ooh.
he is not like his base is not exactly safe. He can get pressured on wood quite hard, but he has a lot of trees to choose. So from so
You're
I meant
right.
to say forest, but trees makes it funny, honestly.
Yes. Well, he does have a
So
lot of these little gaps to wall off, though.
yeah, that's why the Sentinel still makes sense. But even if he does for that, there is no need to actually cast it early because it just takes options away. Like you can cast it the moment you get attacked, like if you actually need it, you know?
True. Sick relic, by the way. We got the Scarab Pendant.
Oh yeah. Oh, the System of Bass. Oh yeah. It's an insane relic. It actually outperforms many of the economy relics because of how economy works in this game.
Yeah, those
Some of them, like
animations,
what?
man.
Yeah, some of them state they give you like 5 or 10%, but just do nothing. And this one flat reduces the cost, so it is 100% guaranteed to give you something. And what are you making the entire game? It is villages. So that's actually really, really, really nice.
Yeah,
And
800
put in
resources
a
is not too
different
bad.
way, 10%, that's 5 food, and that's every 14 seconds. So you basically get 5 food every 14 seconds per TC. So 3 TCs, 15 food per minute, that would be even more. So this relic is actually really, really nice.
Until you run out of villagers to make.
You never do.
Well,
I mean, yeah, sure, I guess, but
at some point, you know, you max out, and what if it's not a raiding game? But sometimes it is
yeah,
a raiding game, and sometimes you keep making, so...
actually, this is even more for the Addy player because Addy citizens are so expensive. Wait a second. Villager food cost. It probably doesn't, but does it affect the hero eyes for villagers?
No.
Okay. That would have been really interesting
Wait,
if
does
it
it?
does.
Oh, wait, I think it does.
Okay, now, now I'm confused. Someone should check this because this is one of the things I actually don't know, and it sounds really interesting because it just might because you're technically producing a villager hero, so there is a chance.
Yeah, it should. It should. I'll have to check later, but...
I mean, it's not going to be super relevant because
No.
when do you heroize a citizen manually? But
Like
yeah,
late game, maybe, in a
I
team game.
mean, you could technically, in some really crazy boom strategy, do it because they gather faster a little bit, so it will pay off eventually, but it's just gonna take time,
Well,
a long time.
yes. Hagrid
But
decided to just wall this off then. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't push that a bit further out because there's a gold mine here. He has gold mines in the back though, and he did wall another with this. Just nice to think ahead, I guess.
look at this economy advance for Kimo, and he has the relic.
What?
He's getting pickaxe, hand axe as Uranus. Late
Oh, he got it.
advanced,
Yeah.
1 TC.
Hagrid does have a decent amount of hunt on the map, at least. That's always nice to have against Uranus. And then he has got 10 cows at home, even better. And then some chickens. So yeah, plentiful map this time. Kimo actually also has 8 cows.
Yeah, that's a nice amount of food. But I think Hagrid doesn't have husbandry yet, so they are not getting enough food.
Oh, that's... Yeah, only Kimo does.
And there's some harassment. The lone hero Oracle is going for the relic.
It's a good investment. The line of sight
Oh
relic,
yeah, but
I
really get
actually
away
one of my
though.
favorites, that one.
Uh-oh. He's
Ooh,
getting
with
damaged.
Chiron, that is a rough deal. Sacrificing the Prometheans to keep that thing alive. Okay, it worked out.
I mean, he has heroes. He could technically send his hero Mamilus back to pick it up. But the Valor he's running... I mean, the Oracle is running valiantly. So,
He had the job,
second TC?
and
Yeah,
he's
and
done
that
it.
second TC. Hagrid. Not getting scouted, I think. Or is he? Looks like he's gonna be safe. He's checking all the corners, everything except for the TC that actually counts. Uh-oh. That's very unfortunate. Could have done quite a bit of damage if he found that.
Too late now.
And that Minotaur is hurting.
It's also gonna die.
And time to leave.
Imagine
this
if
is
Hagrid
some-
just placed a barracks to block this. That would be so funny. It's just these two heroes dying there. But
Yeah, he
oh
should.
wait, the Sentinels didn't get their track rate patched, so they can't even hit the Murmillo.
What? This is an AE only thing then?
Yeah, I don't think the Woobly guys did it.
The
track rating
Oracle hero is
5?
back.
Maybe they did it
The Oracle hero.
with a vengeance. Wait, is
Yeah,
this a
he
new
killed
one?
a villager.
This was full HP. That was a different one.
Wait, are you kidding?
Nope.
Oh no way, he has a second Oracle hero.
Where? I
At the temple. He's just chilling there.
Oh, right.
And he has another one, I think? Never mind. Never mind. That would have been crazy. And now he has only one.
So 33 villagers. The Greek economy is starting to kick in a little bit, and this time he got Watchtower. He's had enough of this raiding nonsense. Walling off now, but he does have this open. Wait, wall off with houses, even better. Can't do that in Age of Empires 4.
That backgrowth for Hagrid though, that's 6k. Kimo would have to work a bit to get there.
Well, the walls don't live forever, so should be easy enough for him to punch through this one. But where's Hagrid's unit production? Is he just gonna go heroic and maybe get some manticores out and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think they're on
what
vacation.
else. Manticores are on vacation, what?
I mean, his army is on vacation.
Oh,
'cause
army, right. Not allowed to go manticores, they have their holidays, man.
I mean, Manticores are always on vacation.
The Murmillo hero might go down to the Chiron, and the Chiron might steal the relic. That's what I want to see. Do it, Hagrid.
Oh
Take
no!
the relic.
The hero citizen can go there and take it.
Yeah.
What is
could.
more important, finishing the TC or getting the relic? Just watch him go to the relic afterwards.
It's gonna finish the TC easily enough, so nice. Come on, Hagrid, take that relic. You gotta do the tilt damage.
It's just God unit LOS. The relic is actually useless.
I know.
Just a bait. There goes Ajax. And Kimo nicely on 3 TCs. Going to try to boom back up. And Kimo's army is mostly gone. Traded it all away against villagers.
I like how he kept that one villager alive at 10 hit points there.
Yeah, that citizen hero fought the Ajax and lived.
Not many citizens do that.
I think most of them do, honestly.
Oh. Termo just died because it was wiggling a bit. That's what you get when you wiggle.
Finally, Hagrid actually starting some army, but...
Per TC. Okay.
Yeah.
Guess it was the priority. Oh wait, is he actually starting army?
I am not sure, but he has the buildings.
He's not starting. I really like the wall offs though. But at the same time, when you wall off with barracks, it does make things awkward. If the barracks get attacked and you don't have enough stuff, every unit that comes out is in trouble.
Yeah, and it's also in... when you're the one aggressive, you're just sending forward, all's good. But if you're sending backwards, actually getting out there is annoying.
Yep.
Kimo, first up. By quite a bit. Hagrid hasn't even started Heroic.
At this point, Kimo is just going double palace. Absolutely no
follow.
messing around. That is not something you see often.
That DC is in danger.
Yep. So much trouble. Double Arcus behind this as well. Oh, man. Oh, and it's, by the way, Hyperion, so triple Satyr as well.
Oh, yeah.
Is there going to be a fourth? Yep. And can he afford... Oh my goodness, he has 20 favor. He can get Gemi now. He's actually doing it before the fourth Satyr.
Well, what is that?
One Toxolis. Gemino? It's the Satyr special attack buff. It basically adds 3 extra javelins, I believe. So it's gonna be 6.
This looks pretty cheap.
It's a very strong tech. Okay. We're gonna have to have Hippospis and something against those Arcus. Might be worth making Hippocons, to be honest.
Because I think Chaos has a word to say about it.
Yeah.
And the production is dying, as you've said. That's one of the big dangers when you run off with them.
Yeah, and these Arcus have 20 range. Like, every single unit that comes out, Kimo could literally one-shot them with all the range stuff he got. Ajax can't even kill a single Satyr. Not much of a hero after all.
And the Satyr didn't even kite, it just stood there.
Yeah, isn't Ajax kind of a villain anyway? Freaking warmongers.
Isn't he a hero in the campaign?
Yeah,
I mean,
in the campaign.
no pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, in the campaign they presented him as a good guy.
Imagine if you had the actual shield special from campaign.
Yes. Oh.
It's so much cooler, right?
He could be a heroic age hero.
Yeah, but instead we have Polyphemus and Perseus and Bellerophon. But their specials are also really cool.
I mean,
but
Perseus' special is sick.
Yeah, Perseus honestly might be the coolest hero after Son of Osiris.
After Son of Oh, there's the resto. Unfortunately for the town center, it's shooting, right? So it won't get the full regeneration rate, which would be 10 times higher.
Is it possible to tell the TC to not shoot?
No.
That's unfortunate. Like, you can literally, when healing a priest, for example, you can literally tell it to stand grounded and not attack anything.
That's
so
right.
You can heal it faster.
Yeah, I wish you could do that to buildings, to just tell them to stand down, and then the HP would actually be so broken, it would just heal up in 1 second.
Yeah, and this push, looking really strong. TC dead, village is dead, and Hagrit is also dead.
Very. He's the deadest.
That's 3-0.
Wow.
Hagrid goes down. And he's gonna meet Soup, who also plays Odin, so... Odin mirror time?
Perhaps. Perhaps. We shall see. Anyway, Kimo heading to the winners finals. He's not done with the entirety of the bracket, of course, even on the winners side of things. We want to thank our MetaPlace website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep hosting events. As we reach higher subscription goals, we can increase the prize pools of the events we host. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description. And remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.